Barbarian Rugby Club. Wayne, are you here and why did you want to set aside?
Really boring people because these people have nothing to do with ideological political factions. I'm just trying to keep an eye on clubs and making sure no voters.
Okay, I'll put that again for those who can't hear. That the TV room be converted into a second-hand bookshop and a second-hand clothing shop. Clear.
I think this is a really excellent idea to convert the TV room into a second-hand bookshop and clothing shop. We're all students on pretty tight budgets, so I think this is a really good way for each other to help each other out financially. The second-hand bookshop that runs the first 2 weeks of the academic year has always been a very successful venture, and I think that would be an indication of the success of this venture. The first 2 weeks of the year is often not enough time for most students to finalise their courses. Dropping papers and picking up new ones often leaves students with very expensive books that they can't get rid of, and also with the problem they've got to buy other ones for the papers they've picked up later. Okay, so I think it's a really constructive and practical idea for students to help other students, and I strongly urge you to support this motion. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else? Aidan? There is a speaking order here. Aidan?
I'm actually opposed to this particular motion, not because of what it intends to do, which I think is a very excellent idea, but because of the particular room that was selected. I think the TV room is one of the most popularly used of all the rooms around here, and I'm sure the motion really ought to go through if another room could be selected in its place.
Wayne?
I'd like to know if any student fees are going to go into this project, who is going to staff the shop, will they be paid out of profits, will we be making profits from selling the clothing to students, will it break even, will the people be paid out of any profits they make from selling second-hand goods to students, what will happen to the television?
We're going to sell the TV to cover the costs of setting it up, so Wayne's got nothing to worry about. As far as staffing it, we're going to put it on we're going to move a constitutional amendment at the SGM coming up to put it onto the Treasurer's responsibility. Wayne loves hard work. He enjoys being here till 2 in the morning. He can look after the bookshop all day and take care of the accounts at night. It's as simple as that. We've got nothing to worry about. I think it's a shit-hot idea and we should go for it. We're going to sell the telly to cover the costs of setting it up.
And there's a microphone here, right? Okay. Dia, do you want to speak to this? Nat Webster, our NZUSA representative, is looking for notice at the moment, so there she is.
Very much we did. Yes, I think it's an excellent idea. I think we don't need the television here on this space. There's a need for other important things like the bookshop, like Claire has mentioned. Also, we've got an audiovisual library which is very extensive and it's open to use for students, so I think we should use that much more than we have been. And you can go and watch your TV programs there if you like, but I think television is a real destructive thing anyway for everybody's, for students' minds. We're supposed to be getting rather progressive and quite... and I think we could in fact create jobs for students. I'm sure with that there could be a nice roster worked out, maybe using the same system as the second-hand bookshop at the beginning of the year. So we all vote for this motion.
Richard, do you want to speak?
Yeah, look, I'm really pleased to see the new EVP, right, taking such an active and constructive stand on ELSA. I mean, it just gets so tiring to see the executive stuffing around and actually doing nothing for students. But here we've got someone who's got a constructive idea. It is to the motion, Roger. And with the increasing cost to students, surely it's logical that we should have a second-hand bookshop on campus. I mean, I can't afford to go out there and buy all the new textbooks for my courses. Especially with the cost of the UBS there. So yeah, I support this move. It's a worthwhile and constructive idea.
Does anyone else want to speak to this? Yes. Jason Redwood. Redwood Jason.
Get a haircut!
Right, well, I don't know about you guys, but I think that room should be kept as is, and if they want a clothing shop, they should find somewhere else to put it, because I know a lot of people use that room. You're studying here till all hours of night, and your favourite program's on at some stage. Play school, yes, and you need somebody to go and see it. It's quite good to go and be able to relax here for half an hour and zombie out. There's plenty of other places. Where else in town can students who can't afford their own television go and watch it apart from at their parents' place? Then you can't watch the dirty places, and there's plenty of bookshops around town to buy second-hand clothing, which are run by Salvation Army and Presbyterian people and all sorts. I mean, you get your clothes everywhere. Where else can we watch a television that isn't ours when you can't afford one of your own? Now that's where poor students need it there. Yeah, and how we'll be able to see our march tomorrow at Thursday, 1 o'clock here. Where else do we see that except on television on the news? So there.
Okay, does anyone else wish to speak to us?
Hey, this is a bloody stupid idea trying to take over the TV room. This is one of the rooms which is most popularly used. If they're very serious about this idea, then perhaps they should come back with a real proposal with budgets and everything, and then we can discuss it back here later. If they really do want another room, they could perhaps use the billiard room or something and take that away, or they could use one of the rooms upstairs. It doesn't really matter which room they want, it's just that they're going to have to come to us and we're going to have to discuss it. Now the problem is that you're going to lose your TV room, which is one of the few common rooms which is widely used. We're running out of space as it is, so we're not likely to get new buildings for another 5 years, if we're lucky. So therefore, we've got to keep what space we can. If you want to make it into a bookstore or a bookshop, you know, fine. But we have got problems with these people here. These people here give us an ounce grant of about 78 grand a year. I imagine that's going to disappear if we start putting our profits into a room up there. Alright, so, you know, we've got a little few things like that to worry about. As far as second-hand clothes are concerned, as you can see, I'm wearing mine. And you can quite easily pick them up around on K Road somewhere, alright? So I don't think it's vital that we need them as desperately as we need a TV room, or the space more likely than a TV room. So vote against it.
I'd just like to answer a couple of points that Richard made just then. First of all, yesterday the billiard room was absolutely full at lunchtime, and there were only 3 people in the TV room. I don't think you can suggest using the billiard room or any other common room, which are much more widely used than the TV room.
Okay, I'll close the speaking order. Well, I've just closed the speaking order. Okay.
The reason no one is there at lunchtime is because there's nothing on at 12 o'clock in the middle of the day.
Well, that's a good point for getting rid of it, I think. Claire, do you want to have the right to reply? I'm not a biased chair, I'm just enjoying myself.
Alright, I'm asking the SRC to support this venture in principle, okay? I realise there are some things that we need to finalise. As far as the staffing of it goes, a lot of second-hand places use a kind of a commission system. We could consider that, or perhaps have the students who are wanting to sell things for their own financial benefit to help staff it on a roster. I still think it's an incredibly constructive idea. Other campuses have it with a smaller population, and it's a really popular venture in those places. I really think that this will be an indication, the way in which we vote on this will be an indication of students' priorities here at Auckland. From an educational perspective, I think, books are really important for getting your work done, and also finances is one thing that students are consistently caught up about. This venture would address those 2 problems, and the only thing you'll be missing out on is your bloody TV, which I'm sure if you really needed to watch a silver screen, you could go to the Picture Theatres in Queen Street, which is only a walk distance from here, or the AV Centre in the English department, But also, I mean, the TV is on wheels, most likely, and we can probably move it to a similar location without too much hassle at all. Okay? So I'm still asking you to support this motion. Thanks.
Okay, I now put the motion that the TV room be converted into a second-hand bookshop and a second-hand clothing shop. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those against? Aye.